Good evening, everybody. Let me fix my hat hair here. See who we've got in here already tonight. Holy smokes, the live chat's been busy. Oh, Clarence is going to check back in when he gets to his RV. Got Mike from Lake Ontario Firewood, Frontier Firewood. Got Ed, American Country 716. I am having a live, Ed. We're going to be just fine, I think. I hope. We'll see. Wise Choice. How you doing, guys? Good to see you. Let's see who else we got here. Benny's, good evening. Josh and Janice, how you doing, guys? Dennis Rexford, Tim Poor, Joseph Grandier, Joe the Grower, Jacqueline Dower, Robert Cunningham. How's everybody doing tonight? I started just a couple minutes early because I'm impatient. I took an easy day today. Dennis, what happened to me is a mystery still. We're not sure. I got the full workup at the hospital to rule out all the bad stuff, but they don't really know what happened, and neither do I. I know at 2:30 in the morning I woke up and did not feel right. Everything felt off. I woke my wife up. She took my blood pressure, and it wasn't good. So I got a quick trip to the hospital in the wife's car, and we got a full checkup and then sent home. So let's see who else here. Dan's House of Smoking Outdoors. How you doing, buddy? Got Ted Miller. I got Mist Phelps. 907 Splitter Adventures from Alaska. How you doing, David? Good to see you. Speedy, how you doing? Yeah, we're doing a live. I'd do it from the hospital bed if we were in the hospital. I mean, because I'd be bored, so I'd have to do something. Kevin and I went and delivered the load of restaurant wood that was supposed to go Saturday morning this morning. Got that taken care of, and that worked out okay. I've been kind of taking it easy most of the day, not doing a whole lot. I feel fine. I'm just going to take it easy and see what we got to do and kind of go from there. Kind of threw my whole schedule off and messed things up a little bit, so I'm trying to play catch up a little bit. And we got the Cord King back this evening. It was out on a week-long rental. They want to use it for another week when I get back from Bunyan, so we'll have to look at the schedule, see what's going on there. Yeah, so we'll see. Moore's Firewood Maintenance. I'm glad to see that they didn't have to keep me too. I was very glad to see that. So, Daniel Atkins, how you doing, buddy? We missed you. Got Jason, Yadkin Valley Outdoors. I hope they figure out what's wrong with me, but I think I'm a mystery, so I don't know. Derek from Derek Stuff. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So for all of you that reached out to me with well wishes or offering to help, if you could help in any way or anything like that, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you. It was an eye-opening experience. I'm not 20 years old anymore, and I realize that. But yeah, it's we're going to change things. We're going to do things a little bit different. And I'm going to start doing things a little bit different with both the business, the channel, everything. And I'll bring you guys along for all of that as we go. It's going to be fun. BT Saws, how you doing? Good to see you. Brandon Hode, got the first field of corn chopped. That's always a good feeling right there. Symington Seasonal Services, how you doing? Jim, Iffy Kid, how you doing? Got Mrs. American Country 716. I felt fine other than when I woke up. Once I got to the hospital, I was feeling better. But I woke up and it was off. My blood pressure was like 80/45. And my pulse was 44. For those of you that don't know me, I take blood pressure medication because my blood pressure is usually way high, and I got to keep it down here somewhere. But it's just one of those things. We got to do what we could. So yeah. Let's see who else is in here. Got Dave Edwards, John Solomonson. Oh, Clarence is here. How you doing, Clarence? Carl Lewis, the man with the plan. How you doing? Josh and Janice, those decals do look awesome. And for those of you that don't know, hang on, let me show you, because I got a couple extra here that are going on the splitter. I kept them close so that I could grab them without having to run away too far. So, let's see here. These suckers are big. Nice stickers for the windows of the truck. Willey's Firewood. And my favorite one, once I figure out how to install a round decal, Gramps Woodshed. That one came out awesome. Really, really like it. So yeah, Josh and Janice did a great job with that stuff. Very, very awesome. Daniel, I took a trip to the hospital yesterday morning at about 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up with very low blood pressure, very low pulse, and my wife rushed me to the hospital. I'm thankful that my wife is a nurse practitioner and has worked in the cardiac ward. She didn't take no for an answer. She didn't say we're waiting or we're going to see what happens. She said, get in the car, we're leaving, let's go. And we went down, did a full workup, and got everything taken care of, and off we went. Nope, did not take any extra pill. I was actually out of my medication for a little bit, and I should have had extremely high blood pressure. So that's why we were both really worried. So but my blood pressure was dangerously low, but we got everything sorted and fixed, and I guess they didn't find anything wrong, so kind of is what it is, I guess. We're going to have to do lots of that. This is full of water, and I've been drinking water like it's going out of style, Dennis. Good evening, Brianna. How you doing? Aaron Burford, take it from me, a current dialysis patient. Control your blood pressure and diet, sir. I've been losing weight. I've been going down on weight, and I've been trying to do the best I can. And it's been pretty interesting to see everything that kind of goes along. But I appreciate that. Yeah, Connor, it is definitely better to get checked out for sure. Yeah, that's a good thing to remember, Ed. Always good to remember to take that. That's for sure. Yep, the sugar and carbs, we're cutting those out next. So we'll see what's going on here. Hardworking man, Heath from out in Michigan. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hope you're healing up too. Lake Ontario Firewood. Now the super chat. Here's to feeling better to Russ. Well, thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate that. Tom from Tom's Firewood. You out hustling or you working, Tom? And there's Nick Mancini. You in Rhode Island or you traveling for work, Nick? I'm feeling better. I only felt poorly when I first got up. By the time we got 8 o'clock in the morning at the hospital, I felt pretty good. But is what it is, I guess. We'll do what we got to do. So we're gonna have some changes. Like I said, we're gonna have some changes coming up, and hopefully it helps everything. BW35, how you doing, buddy? Sherry Miller, how you doing, Sherry? Good to see you. So I've got some new equipment coming back to the wood yard from the Paul Bunyan show, and we're gonna tow a new piece of equipment home, possibly two. So that'll be kind of fun to get something new back at the hospital. So it's back at the hospital. I was reading a comment, back at the wood yard. So that'll be nice to get something new. Yeah, Brandon, I think you're right. Brandon says they make you wait in the hospital just to sort it all out. I think you're 100% right. Gavin's team had another win today. Well, there you go. Good job, Gavin. Richard's team got blown out of the water today. We lost 37-0. They got smoked. They got out-hustled and outplayed for a 3-4, grades 3-4 youth team. They absolutely were incredible. They could pass. They could run. They played defense. They did it all. It was awesome. So, yeah, it's... So, BW wants to know what I'm getting. So far, I know that I'm bringing home a tumbler to go with the Cord King Firewood processor. They have a new mini 8-foot tumbler with a loading platform. So I'm bringing home a tumbler, and I may be bringing home another piece of equipment. It all depends on if it sells at the show, from 2 different manufacturers. But I only have room for one or the other, and they know that. So it's, there you go. You know, it is what it is. So I can't wait to get the tumbler back, because I have a local contractor friend up here that I worked for in high school and college doing concrete work. He has 40 cords of 2-year-old dry seasoned tree length maple that he wants me to bring my processor right into the yard and process right out of the yard and go. So it's going to be really, really nice to have 40 cord of dry wood this time of year. And holy smokes, I just got a $50 super chat from BT Saws. Well, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. Hope is an awesome event. I like the charity events. The charity events are so much fun. They're just, I really, really enjoy doing those events. When it's for a good cause, you can't knock it at all. So it's interesting how all of that stuff works out, and it's just, I really, really enjoy events like Hope and the Hoosier Firewood Hysteria and all those other events. It's really cool. So Bud Cantor, I am feeling better. The only time I felt poorly was when I woke up and woke my wife up early Saturday morning. Other than that, I felt fine. I was really starting to get a little twitchy and ready to get out of the hospital towards the end of it. They had me hooked up on everything, and the buzzers were going off, and I was losing my marbles. But my wife told me to be patient and hang on and wait, and so it's pretty cool. So Frontier Firewood asks when I'm getting my new conveyor. Well, I should have one conveyor coming from Allwood at some point. I have a second conveyor from another company that does not make conveyors right now, that's in the works of being made. We're going to have their first one. So that'll be kind of cool. I'm not sure exactly when that one will be either, but we're going to have a couple of conveyors coming. So that'll help out, and we'll be really cranking when we get both of those here. Boots in the Grass says, just Brooke and I here tonight. Well, hello, Brookie, and hope you keep Dad in line. Don't let him eat all the snacks. So yeah, the new conveyor, first one should be sometime very soon. Second one, I'm not sure when, because like I said, it'll be the first one that this company is making, that's mobile, and we're gonna put it to the test. So that'll be kind of fun. Yeah, that would be fun to get all the wives to come to Hope next year. That would be a good time. I like working in the wood yard with family. You know, I would love to bring Gramp to all of these events with me so that everybody could meet him. Gramp doesn't travel because Graham's health isn't well. But, you know, the day comes that Graham passes away, I think Gramp will be hooked at the hip wherever I go, and he'll come along with me. And it's going to be really, really interesting to see which events we go to and how that works, because he's a worker. He just, you know, that's what he does, and it's just really cool to see all that stuff. BW35, I put a lot of miles on my truck. That's how I get around to all those events. I enjoy it though. I really do. I want to go to more next year if we can. It all depends on finances and what the business has going on. So outside in the 515, Rob, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So Brandon, the first conveyor will be a chain. The second one will be a belt, but it's a different style belt. It's a rubber belt, but it's a modular rubber belt. So when I get that, I'll show everybody what I'm talking about, and we'll go through all of that and show everybody as we go. But that one is a really kind of unique conveyor, so I'm excited about that one. Have a good night, Heath. I appreciate you. Easton Made makes a really nice conveyor, Yadkin. They do. They make really nice stuff. Nick Mancini wants to know how many miles on the Tundra now. 135,000 and ticking. We'll be probably 137, 138,000 by the time we get back from Bunyan next week. So we're going to have a few more miles on it. So what started as a simple broken shaft on the conveyor has turned into a welding project. It's turned into some new bearings. It's turned into a new shaft, and it's turned into a new pulley because nothing wanted to come apart. So it's I don't know. It's one of those deals where seems like sometimes the easiest things take the most time and effort, and that seems to definitely be what it is with this conveyor. And I've also found out I'm all done being impatient, wanting something fixed right now. I could have bought everything online, had it shipped to the house for less money than what I paid for just the bearings and a new shaft if I was just patient and didn't want it done. So I want to slow down. That's going to be my whole key, is to slow down but speed up. And I know everybody's kind of slow down but speed up. What's he talking about? You'll see. I'm going to show you guys. That's part of why I wanted the tumbler. We're going to slow down to speed up. It's going to be really interesting to see if my plan works. If my plan works, we should be able to knock back to 2 to 3 days a week and still produce the same amount of firewood that we're producing in 5 or 6 right now. And it's going to take a couple of steps, and it's going to take a couple of pieces of equipment, but I think we can do it. And that's my goal for this coming year. Symington Seasonal Services, that new Easton Made Apex looks sweet. I saw that splitter. It reminds me a lot of the Birch series that Allwood has, just with features. It looks like an Easton Made machine. It's built like an Easton Made machine. For the price point that it is, that's the price point that if you've got a smaller firewood business and you're not splitting great big nasty tree service wood, those are the type of splitters that you need. Everything is there. You got all your stuff that you need, and it's really nice to have a machine like that. A machine like that, you know, like the 22 RS or the 17 RS from Wolfridge. They're good entry-level machines that you can build a business around. And if you get bigger and you want to go faster, you want to get bigger, you can always get a bigger splitter after. But that's a good enough size machine to get going. So Nick, what we're going to do to slow down our process is we're actually going to use machinery instead of manpower for a big portion of it. We're going to source some different logs to make it easier for the processor. I'm still going to keep Gramp cutting what he wants to cut. And we're going to do all kinds of different changes with the firewood business to transition the way that we do business a little bit. Everybody hears, you know, when I say that we do 600 to 800 cord of firewood a year, they're like, that's so much. It's really only 2 to 3 cords a day, 5 days a week. It's not a ton of firewood. But if I can process ahead and I can deliver more at certain times, it's going to make everything so much easier. So we're going to have to really start to look at things and see where we need to put our time. And one of the things I love more than anything is process improvement and process engineering. I used to do a lot of that when I worked in the commercial food industry with the bakery, and I'm going to really start diving into firewood. I'm going to start doing some series of videos on my YouTube channel showing the difference between simple things that some people don't really think about, like the time savings from going from a single wedge to a 4-way, from a 4-way to a 6-way, from a 6-way to an 8-way, and show just how much time that saves, but you're not really going any faster, if that makes sense. It's the same amount of time consumed, but you're producing so much more. So if you use the machinery to speed everything up, that's where you're going to make the biggest dividends. If you're still exerting the same amount of physical energy anyway, but the machine can do more work for you, that's how going slower is going to make you faster. So we're going to see a bunch of that stuff coming up. It's just really, it's fun to look at different ways to do things, and that's where I kind of have the most fun, is when I look at different ways to do things and how we can go faster with what we already have. So we'll be doing some of that. Tim, that in-feed conveyor the Easton Made has is pretty cool. So Han The company that made the little Firewood processor, they have a new in-feed conveyor that they just released that's 15 feet long. That would hold a pretty good charge of wood for sure. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how that works. Good night, Gavin. Appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Congratulations on the win. Keep getting them. So Iffy Kid, if Gramp wants to cut 5 days a week, we're going to let Gramp cut. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do, because I have the sawmill. So we're going to build racks. We're going to stack rounds in racks, and we're going to let them dry in the round, in the racks, in the yard. And we're going to split them as we need them. We'll move them with the tractor, and we'll split them as we need them. We're going to get fussier with the way that we do things. There's a whole bunch that's going to go along with it. It's going to be different videos than what you guys are used to seeing from me for sure. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get them recorded the way that I want, because it's hard to record and work and do things at the same time, but we're going to figure it out. So it's going to be fun. I won't have to chain Gramp anywhere. Mount Tammany, I wish I could say I felt fine, but I didn't really feel too bad to begin with. I just felt off when I woke my wife up Saturday morning. I told her something's not right. Can you check my blood pressure? And when she did, she's like, come on, get up, we're going. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, your blood pressure's low, we're going to the hospital. I was like, well, okay. Okay. Oh, Gramp will be at the woodshed event when we do the woodshed event, Josh and Janice. Guaranteed on that. Timmy Poor. Yeah, 15 foot would hold half a cord, no problem. For sure. If you're doing tree service wood, John Solomon, 35 ton would be the minimum that I would go for tree service wood. The more tonnage you can have, the less strain you're going to put on the machine, and the easier it's going to be to bust through that big nasty stuff. You can do it with less pressure, because Britt from Foothills Firewood, he runs that great big tree service wood all the time through his 28 Pro Wolfridge, and it does it. I watched him do it all day long at Hope. But definitely, if you can upgrade. It's definitely worth the extra money, I think, in my opinion. There's no such thing as overkill. Overkill is just right. Robert Cox, good evening. How you doing, buddy? So we will be at Bunyan very, very, very early Friday morning. We'll take a short nap at our Airbnb, and then we will be at the show. Friday, I will be at Cord King. Saturday, I will be at Typhoon in Allwood. And Sunday, I will be at Cord King again. So if anybody wants to see me, I will post my schedule both on YouTube and on Facebook, so that you know where we're at. We have a couple of axes that we're going to be raffling off for Gramps Woodshed. The truck's right here. Brandon Hode, play some Jeopardy music. Let me show you what we're going to raffle off. So I went to our friends at PV Manufacturing, and I was going to buy some axes to raffle off. They said, don't buy them. Get a PV for PV Manufacturing. But we've got a Council tool, 36-inch axe. Very nice ash handle, nice straight grain. I checked the handle out real good before I got it. So we've got this one that we're going to raffle off. And then we got everybody's favorite. We've got the Old Faithful double bit cruiser. Oh, I will be at Bunyan on Friday. We will be there all day Friday at the Cord King booth. I may take a walk around here and there too, but we've got the double bit. Again, Council tool, ash handle. So These are going to be raffled off. All proceeds go to Gramps Woodshed. You have to be present to win. We are going to raffle these off late Saturday afternoon. You can pick them up anytime Saturday afternoon or Sunday at the show. If you're not present, you can't win it. So we'll be auctioning those off. But when I said that I was going to pay for them, Peavy said, no, you're not. This is a local event. We're definitely donating these. They said, tag us. Include us in whatever you do with social media and let people know where to get them if they want one, if they don't win. I said, I can do that. So that's what we did. Saturday night at Bunyan, gonna be live. Yes, the podcast will be live Saturday night at Bunyan. So yeah. Brent Smith, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. My wife says I am a present. Does that count? Sure. Why not? You're always present in mind, at least, Daniel. So I got to tell you guys, I have not been advertising Saw Supplier very much, but you guys remember my coupon code really quick because Saw Supplier has been busy. I don't know if it's you guys or if it's other people, but somebody's been spending some money on Saw Supplier and getting some new toys. So if that was you, I appreciate that. But if you're looking for a new chainsaw, backpack blower, string trimmer, any of that stuff, sawsuppliers.com and use Willey10. Brandon Hode just commented, one Willey, not multiple. Willey10, you'll get 10% off and free shipping all across the lower 48. They carry Husky Steel and Echo. Best prices around. Hands down, best prices around. Great company to work with. So if you're in the market for a new saw and you're wanting to do something, yeah, go ahead and check them out. They're definitely worth it. Pro Yama sent me that little backpack blower. It's basically a copy of an Echo. I was impressed. 2 poles that fired right up, straight out of the box. I usually use the battery-powered blower to blow the sawmill off. I think I squeezed the trigger twice and the whole mill was blown off of that gas-powered blower. Much quicker. It usually took me about a battery to blow it off with the battery-powered one. So really nice machine. Works really good. Daniel just put my email up there. So if anybody's looking for a Gramps stick or Gramps Woodshed stickers or Willey's Firewood stickers or anything else like that, shoot me an email. All of our stickers we're going to start charging $3 a piece for. We're charging $3 a piece because the proceeds from the stickers are going to go to Gramps Woodshed. So everything that we sell for stickers, whether it be Willey's Firewood or Gramps Woodshed, the proceeds will go back to Gramps Woodshed, and we're going to put that money towards helping people in need keep their homes warm this winter. I'm going to make that a personal mission of mine to see what we can turn Gramps Woodshed into. I think it's got a chance to be a really good thing. I talked with the Maine Wood Bank Association. So there's actually 4 or 5 wood banks in the state already right now. And there's one gentleman that kind of heads up the whole operation. I'm going to call and talk to him later this week and try to get everything set up because you got to have insurance for it. And there's some other things that go along with it too. So we're going to try to get everything circled up and fixed up and rounded up and go from there. So it's definitely going to be really cool. Yeah, I want a 564. I'm hoping Gramps is one of the first ones to come, but I think they'll all come out in a wave, and once one person sees them, they're all going to see them. I tried to pull strings. I thought about buying a European model and having it shipped over, but I'm afraid the European model might be different. So it's, I don't know. Not sure really. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, and, you know, we'll take it as it comes, and it'll be what it is. But I think the 564 is going to be a nice saw. Got to wait and see, though. Don't really know until we wait and see. I did run a 500i for the first time. Smooth saw. It just, I don't know. It cuts good and it runs smooth. It seemed like it was hard on fuel. Didn't seem like it took much time to go through a tank of fuel on it. And the suspension of the anti-vibe on it doesn't feel real strong. I'm afraid if I gave one to Gramp, he'd break the mounts on it, but I don't know. He ran the 7310 for the first time in a while the other day because we got bigger wood in this last load. 7310 runs good. I mean, we don't use it a whole lot, but it runs good. So I've got to send that to Maryland. That's got to go to Crafterized and get decked imported. That one's going there. So it's Gramp doesn't like a ported saw because he doesn't like the extra noise, which I understand. But it wakes him up pretty good. I don't know. It's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Gramp cuts so fast now, if I gave him a decked and ported saw, I'd have no chance of keeping up. I'd have to give up. We tried the log hauler this week. I like the log hauler from Log Ox. I was more impressed with it as a cant hook on the sawmill. We were turning some 20-foot long pine with that cant hook with 2 of us leaning and laying and pulling on it. Never once did it offer to bend or give up or break or anything like that. Flopped that big 20-foot pine log, no problem whatsoever. 4510. I think it was the 4920 or the 4910. One of the two. I can't remember which one, but there's one series of the 49cc. It was before the 501. One of those they really like for decking and porting. I'll have to look, Jason, and I'll get back to you. But it's not the 4510. I know that. So the 661 suspension will fit in the 500i, Jim? Is that what you're saying? Because if that's the case, that would be pretty good. Yep, 4910, Yadkin, 4910. Bill Saflarski, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So yeah, we're gonna. I don't know if I showed you guys. I don't think I've showed you guys yet the new Gramp stickers. Oh, I got a bunch of them for Bunyan. We got a big old stack of them. So we'll have all kinds of Gramps Woodshed stickers for sale. So that'll be all going back to the woodshed, but they did a great job with them. They came out good. Came out really, really nice. Get a nice bright pink stick and an orange saw because that's what he uses. So that's pretty cool. I was very pleased with them. They came out very, very well. Saw supplier? No, they have the 501. The 501 replaced it. Donald Slate, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So the 501 is kind of what replaced the 4910. The 501's a nice little saw, smooth saw. The thing I like about the Echoes, and Dave even saw it firsthand when we were up sawing on the sawmill at his place, once they've been started and warmed up, one pull, they fire right up. It's it's really cool. I don't know. Very few saws have I ever had. My Dolmars always started really good like that after they were warmed up, and my Echoes. But they just so easy to start after they've been warmed up. I really like it. Yep. Yeah, we got Venmo Frontier. We got Venmo. We got Venmo, Cash App, Facebook Pay. We got all kinds of stuff. And just shoot me an address. You've got my email, so send me an email and give me an address, and I'll send you my Venmo link, and we'll get one popped in the mail to you. Appreciate that very much. So anybody that wants one of these and you're not going to be at Bunyan, just go ahead and shoot my email a message, and we'll get it going. Oh, the 620 Yadkin. The 620 Echo is the best firewood saw for the money. It's actually a decent felling saw. It's a good all-around saw, and for the money, there's nothing out there better on the market. That's just plain and simple. It is what it is. It's you know, it's pretty cool. Hey Rob, have a good night, buddy. I appreciate you stopping by. Really do. The Echo saws are Toyotas. They're reliable. You're not going to get the most performance out of them. You're not going to get the highest horsepower, but they're going to last a long, long time. Brent Smith ran 2 Echoes today, the 590 and a 352 for limbing. He said he loved them. There you go. I don't like a heavy saw. most of what I do for cutting now is in the firewood pile. I'm not out in the woods doing any logging. So for me, a 60 to a 70 cc saw for what I get for firewood is plenty. And if it was decked and ported, it's way more than enough. Way more than enough. Is it fun to have a play saw to go out and play with once in a while? Sure, but honestly, I don't play a whole lot. I work. And we're gonna try to limit some of that work a little bit and maybe make some more time to play. But at the end of the day, for me, I want a good, reliable saw that when I go to work, it's going to work too. And that's why I really like the Echoes. The Echoes have been really good like that for us. We had good luck with the older Huskies and the older John Sureds, but unfortunately, you know, those saws are getting older and getting worn out. And I found that once they've been rebuilt a Time War II, you're kind of beyond the usefulness of the saw at that point. Then you start getting into other issues. So, but I like the red Husqvarnas, or the John Sureds, Jan Sureds as they call them. So it's interesting. Saw Suppliers will not be at Bunyan. Saw Suppliers is going to start traveling the show circuit next year. So Saw Supplier will not be at Bunyan, but they will start traveling the show circuit next year. I did talk to Steve a little bit, and he said that starting next year they're going to try to travel the show circuit some and show up at a few of the shows. So that'll be kind of cool. But really great company. I mean, I can't say enough good about them. They've been very, very good to me, and it's been really, really cool to see just how everything is kind of transpired and how everything's gone. I look forward to our Sundays and Wednesdays when we have our lives, and I look forward to all of that stuff. It's pretty cool to see how everything's kind of gone. Holy cow, what was that, Brent Smith? Brent Smith said Tractor Supply bar oil was $20 a gallon yesterday. Holy smokes. That's crazy. I think $8.99 up here. That's nuts. I don't have any ads popping up on my end, Brandon. I don't know if you're watching it on a phone or a computer. I'm on my phone, so I don't know. Wow, Tractor Supply Winter Blend $19.99 is normal? Holy smokes. Yikes. That's crazy. So I got the Cord King back today. I got that clean, sorted, fixed, ready to go back out for tomorrow. I put some of Mike's bar oil that he got me on sale in it. That's what we've been running, and the Cord King seems to be working just fine. And I'm using Logger Jason's chains that he got me. The Forester chains, not from Forester Shop, but Forester chains. Much cheaper than Oregon, and they're working great so far. So thank you very much to Logger Jason for that. We'll definitely be using those from now on going forward. The rentals for the processor just keep coming in. It's pretty cool, actually. I think it's kind of neat to get other people to try it and hear what they have to say and see what they got to do. The guy that rented it this past week said, I wish I had bigger wood. And I told him this is something that if you have wood 10 inches and up, 10 to 20 inch diameter, it's going to work really, really well. Smaller than 10 inch, it's kind of, it'll do the job, but that's not what it's made for. And he said when you get into the bigger wood, he said, man, oh man, he goes, doesn't that thing work great? He goes, but the smaller stuff, he goes, I'm always looking in the pile, watching to see when the next good size log's coming. But they had it for 40 hours, and he said he thought they did right around 45 cords. But I'm telling you right now, most of the wood that they were running was probably, I don't know, 4 to 7 inch. I mean, small stuff. And it slows it down big time. But he said for what they had for wood and what they got produced, he was thrilled with it. They want to rent it for another week. And he said if we get a bigger diesel machine, he'd be interested in renting that one too. So they're looking to probably purchase at some point. He's a couple hours away from me, and it'll be interesting to see what they end up with. But he was overall happy with the machine. So Circle B, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Josh and Janice want to know if John's package showed up yesterday. John, did you receive your package from Josh and Janice? I'm assuming that's John Salmonson, because I know he's expecting a package. So the Gramp sticks, I've come to find out if you use them enough, you can wear the paint off the middle where you hang on to them, because in my video the other day I showed Gramp stick in the middle where your hand normally wraps around it. The paint's wore off, or it's wearing off. So it's pretty interesting to see that. His probably gets used a little more than most, but I thought that was kind of cool. He knew I wasn't feeling well, and that I had gone to the hospital, so instead of leaving the wood behind to stack like he always does if I'm not there, he had it all stacked when I got there today, so I didn't have any stacking to do. He's got almost that whole 12 cord load done by himself in the last 3 days, so a couple more days and he'll have that one done. It's really cool to see to see the man go. He doesn't give up, he doesn't slow down, he doesn't quit. He's awesome. I'm partial because he's my grandfather, but I like watching him work. He wore himself out doing earthwork at his house. He's leveling off his back lawn and doing all kinds of other stuff, but it's pretty interesting. So American Country, the 1820 with the turbo split like I have, the rental rates are $500 for a single day, $450 for multiple days, and $2,000 for a week. Anything after 40 hours in that week is $50 an hour flat rate for as long as you keep the machine. So if you figure that you can do a cord an hour with it at $40 at $2,000 a week, it's $50 a cord to process. Now, if you figure your time running a saw and a splitter and fuel and everything else, you should be making out ahead. That's on the very lowest end. If you have good wood, you're going to get 2+ cord an hour out of it. Then you'll really be able to go. So now you're down to like 25 bucks a cord if you can get 2 cord an hour through it. So really, to take it for a week, if you've got enough wood, you're fairly efficient with it. So it's definitely worth giving a try. So yeah, I mean, I've had really good reception from the couple of guys that have rented it so far. I've got a 3rd guy taking it tomorrow and a 4th guy taking it when we come back from Bunyan. It's staying busy. Britt, I watched those fire starters you made, man. Those things were awesome. Absolutely awesome. That was really cool. My episode was a little scary. Definitely had me worried for a minute. But then when I found out that my heart rate was actually really low and my pulse was really low, I wasn't so much concerned about a heart attack as my heart may be stopping. So, but they didn't, didn't really find much at the hospital. So Mike from Lake Ontario Firewood wants to know if we can talk about the new thing from Cord King yet, and sure we can. So if it gets painted and finished in time, which I'm hoping that it will, they said the paint may not even be dry when it gets there, but Cord King is going to have a new repeater style splitter that will mimic the turbo split that's on my processor, built on a torsion axle to be towed down the highway at highway speed, and it will be fully automatic so that you can just turn the repeater on, push a button, and walk away. So be pretty cool to see that. Tom, that Apex is a nice machine. I saw that and I shook my head, especially when I saw the price. That's right where you need to be in today's market. That's an impulse purchase price. anything under 10 grand that is well equipped, well built, and a nice machine sells very quick under $10,000. Once you get over 10, now you're really starting to think about things. But under 10, if you stay under 10, that's the price point that sells. That's the price point that moves. Easton Made always builds a nice machine. So, I mean, that's going to be a machine that we'll see plenty of them out there soon, I'm sure. Yep. Yeah, 8K is a good price. That's why the birch sells so well for Allwood, and that's why the 17 RS, the 22 RS, the 28 Pro, they all sell well because they're in and under that price point and price range. Yeah, Josh, it was definitely something to make you nervous. That's for sure. I was in good hands. My wife was there. She's been in the medical field just about her whole working life. So I couldn't have been in better hands. She's worked in ICU, intensive care, ER, cardiac cath lab. She's been all through the hospital before. So I can't ask to have a better person to advocate for me or to be there for me so that everybody knows what's going on. So was definitely nice to have her along because I don't know the questions to ask. I don't know what I'm supposed to be listening or looking for, but she did, and she was there the whole time. So very, very thankful to have her. And like I said, you know, today I felt perfectly fine. Yesterday, even after I got out of the hospital, I felt perfectly fine. It was just that little window in the morning when I woke her up and I said, hey, something's not right. Things got real for a few minutes, and you know, it makes you think about things. Larry Terrell, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. David Parker, my blood pressure always runs about up here. I'm trying to keep the top of my head from popping off, and I try to keep it right about here. But mine's usually pretty high, so having it that low was definitely a weird experience. It felt weird for sure. I definitely did not feel right, and I knew something was wrong instantly. So if you don't feel right, if your body doesn't feel right, say something, especially if you know it's not right, because there's so much that can be done if you catch this stuff early. But if you just say, well, might not be anything, I'll just let it go. Don't do that, guys. I'm telling you, don't. Take the time, go get checked out. Even if they say it's nothing, it's, you know, it's worth it. So Daniel, right now I know Cord King is working on a rental program in Ohio. We have one in Maine. They're working on one in New York, and I think New York may do Pennsylvania too. I'm not 100% certain on that. And as far as other states, I'm not so inclined to know where they're going, but I can find out when I go to the show. I know they are looking to do rental programs in other places, but right now I know Ohio and Maine are the two that have a machine that are ready to go. So they're probably going to want me to wear a Holter monitor, Britt. So the hospital is always very helpful. They'll rule out the fact that you're not going to die, and then they say, okay, get. And they sent me out, and we'll have to follow up with my primary care. They'll follow me up with a cardiologist. We'll go see the cardiologist. They'll go through everything. So my family, my dad's side of the family has valve defects, and it's a hereditary thing. So I'm sure they'll want to check that. They'll want to rule that stuff out. And I don't know. I don't know if they'll do a cath yet or not. Not sure until we get in and get some stuff doing. So it's just one of those things. I wish that they had done everything right there, right then, but I understand the emergency room is not for that. So I just felt like if I was there for 10 hours, they probably could have done a little bit more. So it's one of those deals. Yeah, Larry Terrell, the iWatch will definitely help keep an eye on that for sure. Yeah, I'll see what I can do, Yadkin. I'm not sure, but I'll see what I can do. If you're at the show, stop by and see me at the Cord King booth, and maybe we can figure something out one way or the other. Um, but yeah, it's. I had the EKG. EKG was fine. They did the blood work to rule out the heart attack. We did a CAT scan to rule out pulmonary embolisms or blood clots or anything like that. Um, all that stuff was fine. So I believe it's like upstate New York towards the top end, but I will find out for sure. Right now, I know the only two programs that are really up and going is Ohio and Maine. And mine in Maine, holy smokes, I could probably use a second machine, honestly. As much as we're getting for response out of this first one and people are liking it and telling other people, I've only put 2 ads up and the thing stayed pretty well rented, so it's worked out pretty good. Um, Scott McCain, I have not. I've got the ergo bagger all put together, ready to roll, and do all that stuff. Um, so I'll try them both this week. I think they're both going to have their advantages, if that makes sense. So the Wolfridge bagger makes a really nice round full bag of kindling. The Cord King Ergo bagger makes a really nice flat full bag of kindling. So the Ergo bagger is going to stack a little bit better than the Wolfridge bagger, I think. And we'll put that to the test. We'll make a few bags, and we'll see which ones stack better, and we'll see which ones look better, because appearance is a lot. Sometimes, even though it may not be as efficient, if it looks better sitting there for the customer, sometimes that makes a bigger difference. And Mike just said right there that ergo bags stack great, and that's kind of what I thought. They sit flat. So Northwest PA Firewood, how you doing? Old guy Firewood, Dick, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Oh, and there's Neighborly Homestead. Everybody's popping in again. Well, look at that. Thanks for coming along, guys. Appreciate you. We were just talking about Cord King firewood processor rentals and all kinds of other stuff, and a few other odds and ends here and there. The new splitter that's coming from Cord King. They've got a new box wedge style machine coming on a fully suspended axle, log lift, and a full auto cycle. Their auto cycle is a single push button that keeps running and doesn't stop until you hit the stop button, so you don't have to sit there and babysit it. Dick, I feel fine. I woke up Saturday morning in a bad way. My blood pressure was really low. My pulse was really low. My wife rushed me to the hospital. They ran all the way through all their tests to rule out heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, all of that stuff. None of that. So we came back home. We got to follow up my PCP. I'm sure they'll put us in touch with a cardiologist, and then we'll go through all the other stuff. But for right now, I'm just trying to take it easy, and I think it's going to be a long road before I get answers, if I get any answers. But I feel good, so I'm thankful for that. We won't be there until early Friday morning. We're going to be traveling all night Thursday night. My wife is getting inducted as the president of her Business Network International group, so we are staying for that. And once that's finished, we're hitting the road. We are staying at an Airbnb about 15 minutes outside of Bunyan. We've got a nice Airbnb, so we're going to be staying there and crashing there. Kevin, myself, and Amber will be there. And can't wait. It's going to be a good time. Going to be a good time. Won't be able to make it this year. Someday I will. Loggers Council, Daniel. You guys are going to have something very special at the Loggers Council in February that nobody else is going to have. You're going to have the first of something ever at the Loggers Council. So you guys heard it here first. Daniel, if he comes over with his camera and goes live will be the first one to show a production unit at the Oregon Logging Council in Eugene. So there you go. Yep, you get to see it first, Daniel. Nobody else is going to be able to see it first other than you. So cheers to that one. You get to be first. Instead of all these other shows that get stuff first, it's going to be you that will get to see it and show it first to everybody else. So take that one. So I'll be waiting for you and Goobs and Travis and whoever else wants to swing by, because you say the West Coast boys kind of get left out. Well, I'm going to put you first this time. And then from there, everybody will see it after that. But first stop is the Eugene Logging Conference with this new machine, or new machines, depending on how quick we get everything here and ready to go. So, be pretty cool. Let's see. Ted and Sherry are looking for something to do Wednesday and Thursday evening. So, yeah. So I thought Daniel would like that. I found that out the other day, and I thought, man, that's kind of cool. So West Coast is going to see it first, and then we'll bring it to the East Coast after that. So it'll be pretty neat. So we've got one more live on Wednesday before we go to Bunyan. We'll probably be packing up at that point. And then we'll see where we go from there. We'll probably swing over to the Fairfield Friday evening after dinner for a little bit of the live, Kevin and I. The wife and Richard will probably go back to the Airbnb and hang out. But Kevin and I will make an appearance over at the Fairfield. I believe Mr. Basso, Chuck, has his vertical. I have not heard from him yet, but I believe he has it. He's working nights on a shutdown, so his schedule is a little messed up right now, but he will get a video to me as soon as he can. He told me he would, and Chuck's a good boy, so that'll be coming soon, I'm sure. Well, we're making the quest out, Daniel, so we're going to have some stuff. And it's brand new stuff at that. Nobody else has seen it. It'll be you seeing it first, and maybe even you using it first. How's that? We'll let you be the pioneer. Dick staying in an Airbnb 10 to 20 minutes away. Hey, thank you, Frontier. Appreciate that. Have a good night, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. So we tried to get a room at the Fairfield. It was booked out. I tried a bunch of different times to get in the Fairfield. It was booked out. And then I saw the price of the Fairfield, and I said, you know what? Nah. I got a whole house Airbnb with a hot tub, a bedroom for everybody, full kitchen. I mean, beautiful house for like half of what we would have paid for 2 hotel rooms. Less than half of what we would have paid for 2 hotel rooms. So Airbnb is the way I like to go. It is nice to stay with everybody else in one group, but an Airbnb to me feels more like home a lot of times than a hotel does, so I like that better. I've become very fond of Airbnbs. And plus, if you find one near all these shows that you like, you can reserve it and keep it for next year. And then when you go back next year, you can be friends with some of these Airbnb people, and they'll tell you, don't book it through Airbnb. Call me first, and then you get a better deal. So be nice to your Airbnb people, and they'll be nice back to you. Remember, a little bit every day goes a long way. Help someone if you can. It's kind of one of those things. And Yadkin, it is nice to be able to cook too. Not that I don't mind going out to eat. I like a real meal where I can sit down and have a good meal. So yeah, Tim and Sarah, if you guys use Airbnb a lot, let them know. This is something that we do every year. We want to come back here every year, say, you know, if we want to book this again next year, is there a way that we can do it? Most of the people, when I've told them, they're like, yeah, just call me. They said, don't worry about, you know, booking it online, call me. And, you know, we'll do something. So if it saves me some money, I'm all for it. So be nice to your Airbnb hosts and they'll be nice to you. It works. It does. It really does. Daniel says, Travis, Brian, Brennan, and I will have to fight each other to get it first. Kind of like the pre-show before the main event. Absolutely. Yeah, traveling is very expensive. If I had not traveled to all the shows and the charity events and everything that I did this year, I probably would have the new truck that I wanted this spring. We looked, and it's been about $25,000 to $30,000 between podcasts, shows, charity events, all the other stuff. It's a lot of money. You figure every single time that you go, you're talking a minimum of $2,000. So, yeah, it's it's expensive. Howard Whitcomb, how you doing? Hey, have a good one, Wise Choice. We'll see you guys on Friday. Daniel, you guys can scratch this machine up all you want. It's made to be scratched. It's made to be used and it's made to be abused. So come on out and scratch it up. That's what we're looking for. My wife has all these questions about schedule. I'm driving until I see Ohio signs and looking for a crowd. So, Josh and Janice, if you guys are going to go to Bunyan, my recommendation is find an Airbnb, book it sooner than later. When you book it sooner, you'll get your better price. You get closer to Bunyan. I waited a little bit until last minute because I wasn't quite sure who was going, what we were doing. It cost me a little bit more, but not much. I like the Airbnbs. The Airbnbs are my way to travel. And I bring my own pillows because I'm very delicate when it comes to my pillows. I like my pillows. So I bring my own pillows. But no, it's traveling is fun, but it's a lot of work. It's stressful, it's expensive. So if you're going to spend that money, you're going to go through all that time and effort and everything, you should at least be comfortable. I like an Airbnb. I can stretch out, I can relax, I can treat it like my house. And it just works better like that. Have a good night, Brianna. I appreciate you. Appreciate you stopping by. So, yeah, Bunyan will be fun. Bunyan will be fun. Tomorrow, we're going to finish getting the conveyor put back up together and get all that stuff sorted out and taken care of. It'll be nice to have the conveyor back, for sure. Well, American Country 716, I've had a couple of people offer. And here's the thing. So even though I've had some machines and some equipment show up on the channel, I don't like to have somebody pay my travel to go to and from these events and everything else, because then I feel like I'm kind of on the hook for something, and I don't want to be on the hook in case I have something that I want to be honest about with a product, or if there's an issue or anything like that. If somebody wanted to pay for my travel, I would want it to be somebody that's not affiliated with the machinery that's in my yard, if that makes sense. It's hard to have. I've got some really great groups that I work with. Allwood is fantastic. Typhoon is awesome. Cord King is fantastic. Those are the three big groups that I work with. Those guys are 100% awesome. But I would not want them to pay for my travel or expenses, just for the simple fact that the working relationship that we have, I don't want to get changed because of monetary value on anything. It's one thing to have a machine and use a machine and demo some equipment or something like that on the channel or whatever it may be. It's a whole nother thing when somebody's paying your way. So I'm going to try to continue to pay my way as I go. Now, does that mean that that won't change going down the road and either one of those three companies or somebody else steps in and they start covering that? No, that doesn't mean that. But if that happens, there will be an NDA or a non-disclosure agreement put inside so that I still have the freedom to give my honest opinion. So anytime you guys see any review on my channel, that's my honest opinion. That's not me trying to sell you on anything. That's my opinion. That's what I think of it. I've had a few people say that my videos have kind of turned into an infomercial. I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like about something. And I'll be blunt about it sometimes. And I think a lot of times I'm maybe not as blunt or as harsh as I should be. The guy that ran the processor for a week, he came back and he's like, hey, you know, have they ever thought about doing this? Have they ever thought about doing that? Would they change this? He had some great ideas. So I'm going to bring that feedback back to Cord King. Cord King's been really great to work with. I think that they'll be open to it. But it's just it's a preference of mine, I guess. And again, that's not to say that somebody won't pay my way at some point or we won't have an agreement like that. But for right now, I'm small potatoes, guys. I'm not a big channel. I'm not somebody that has hundreds of thousands of followers or anything like that. Yes, we get plenty of watch time. Yes, we get plenty of views. Lots of people know who we are. We're not a big fish. We are a tiny minnow swimming in a giant lake. And there are whales out there that would swallow us up in a heartbeat. Some of these guys out there are making content for a living. Some of these guys out there have firewood businesses and are making content on the side. And some of them are making just as much money with their firewood business as they are with their content. So there's a big mix of everything. Right now, I'm making my money with firewood. I make a little bit with social media. If that were to flip someday and be different, so be it. But I enjoy my firewood business. I am not giving up my firewood business. So I hope that kind of explains a little bit where I stand on that whole thing. But it's definitely, you know, lots of people say, well, you're really big. I'm not, guys. When you think about it, when I say 600 to 800 cords a year, that 600 to 800 cords a year is 2 to 3 cords a day, 5 days a week. It takes me, and at the slowest, it takes me 2 hours to do 3 cords. If the wood was small and I'm splitting with a single wedge and things like that, 3 hours a day to split the wood that needs to do. When people see how small my old wood yard was and what we moved for wood, that's what baffles them. That's what really makes them wonder. But I also have Robert and I also have John, that between the two of them, we pick up almost 200 full cord of wood a year from them, in addition to what we're cutting and splitting at our yard. That's how we're able to move the volume that we move. So it's, you know, it's a whole different ball game. And I think people get confused. You know, they'll see us go really fast sometimes. And they're like, oh yeah, well, you know, there's no way he's doing that kind of volume. They can't run like that all the time. No, you're right. We can't. We play around every once in a while and we'll run a quick cord or something like that. But we're not going to run 10-minute cords all day long or anything like that. We're not going to do these cord challenge videos where we're trying to get the fastest cord in the world. We don't run like that all day, every day. I mean, Nick Mancini came up here from Rhode Island. We ran 4 cord a day. It's just, you know, he saw what it was. We turned it up. I turned it up. The last load that we did that he was up here, we did a 2-cord load. The last cord that we put on the trailer took about 10 minutes. I turned the machine up and we ran it. Will it do it? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know, it's not, don't look at it as we're this giant operation. 600 to 800 cord a year is not much firewood, guys. And I'm saying that because I've got guys around me that do thousands of cords a year. So, you know, I'm the little guy in my area, and I'll probably always be the little guy in my area. I'm okay with that. So I started small. I started buying sawmill slabs from a sawmill. I sold the first half of a load that I had left over after I did my firewood. And then after I did my first half a load and sold it, I bought another one. When that second one sold, my grandfather came and helped me cut the second one. When the second one sold, he said, why don't you buy some real firewood? So I bought a load of logs, and that was how it all started. From there, we've grown every single year. We've transitioned, but we've grown every single year except for 3. There was a 3-year period where my firewood sales got cut in half. We grew and we got pretty big with firewood processor. And when we lost log supply and when things got really tight and I had to sell the firewood processor, we went way down. We were well over 1,000 cord. We were well under 500 probably for a few years after that until I got log supply sorted back out. It's not always been a smooth ride. I posted a Facebook memory before we went live tonight of 2018. So 8 years ago today, I lost the engine in what was my almost brand new delivery truck that was just out of warranty. With the help of some good people, we were able to stay going. We bought another used truck. We kept going. I've never let it stop me, and I've never given up. I'm much better about being positive now about it than I ever was, but I never let it stop me. We've had breakdowns. We've had big issues. We've had lots of problems, but I don't let it stop me because I really enjoy what I do. So, you know, if you look at it and you say, oh, you guys are giant, it's me and Gramp and Kevin. And Gramp and Kevin are part-time. I am the only true full-time employee of Willey's Firewood. So maybe 2 full-time employees if you put equivalents together. That's not bad. It's really not, and it's not a ton of work. It's a lot of work, yes, but it's more than doable. And with the processor there, we should be able to really streamline things. I'm going to transition more to a lot more dry seasoned firewood for next year, and you guys are going to see that as we go. So that's going to be different too, but just my 2 cents worth. Oh yeah, the warranty stuff is down pat, Brandon. Down pat. It's crazy. Yeah, so Josh and Janice were thinking they were going to do 10 cord a year. They've done 25 so far. So it's, you know, it's one of those things. Anyone know much about a 2022 Dodge truck 2500 gas or 6.4 or 5.7? And David Parker, you're absolutely correct. A roof over your head, food in your stomach, life's good, especially if you got dependable vehicle to get back to work. So it's pretty impressive. Would it be a 4.7 and a 2500 though, Brandon? I thought it would be either the small Hemi or the big Hemi, one of the two. The 6.4s are good, they're hungry. The 5.7s are a little underpowered, but they're decent trucks. 6.4 should be plenty of motor for that truck. It'll be thirsty if you worked it, but they're decent trucks. Front ends in them, if you put a plow on them, they're like a Ford. You're going to replace front end parts every other year because it's got the Solid X front end in it. And the output seals on the transfer case like to leak on the 25 and 3500 Dodge gas trucks for whatever reason. I don't know why it's the gas trucks. We didn't have any issues with our diesels, but the gas trucks at the town where I worked, the output shafts on the transfer cases, the seals would leak. So those are the things to watch for. Coils are a known issue with those. You'll get a misfire and a hiccup every now and then, so you'll be changing coils. But you know, there's plenty of room to work on them in the engine bay. Oh, new old stock due to COVID. That should be fine if you're the first one to get it. I wouldn't be too worried or scared about that at all. So, all fleet trucks. Yeah, probably, Brandon. I don't know. The transfer cases look the same, but for whatever reason, the output seals on all the gas trucks leaked. And we found the only way to keep them from leaking, we tried the Napa and the CarQuest parts both. they both leaked. So we went to Dodge. We bought the Mopar original, and no leaks. Took care of it. So sometimes there's something to be said for buying factory parts. Who knew? But we're quite a bit over. I'm not going to keep everybody. It's Sunday night. A bunch of you guys have work tomorrow. I have work tomorrow. And we got stuff to do. Bunyan's coming up. I'm getting excited. It's going to be a good time. Going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I got a bunch of pink Gramp sticks that we're bringing with us. I got all kinds of stickers. I've got a few shirts. I was going to get more shirts made up. I've been behind. Been behind. But it's going to be a good time. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. Can't wait to see all you guys there. But we'll be back here Wednesday night, and we'll get everything sorted out and taken care of. And until then, guys, remember, everybody, a little bit every day goes a long way. Help someone if you can. Listen to your body. I'm telling you, listen to your body. So we will see everybody on Wednesday. Have a good night, and I appreciate all of you guys stopping by more than you will ever know. Thank you again for the well wishes. I appreciate you guys. That's just all there is to it.